our group will talk about Dolby in the 1990s. So their inflection point 4 with their stumble due to digitalization, which occurred in the 90s, and what Dolby did to catch up and get back on top of the industry through innovation. So first I will give the backstory of Dolby in the 90s, then Vincent, will then proceed to talk more specifically on how does this backstory link to IP rights, and finally Bin will show us companies in other industries which use an IP strategy similar to Dolby. So at the onset of the 90s, Dolby experienced a significant turning point in its growth as a company because with the sudden rise of the high definition digital technology, Dolby was caught off guard in the film industry because it lacked a digital film product for cinemas. And their competitor, DTS, quickly capitalized on this and introduced their own high definition digital audio systems, which enabled it to gain substantial market share. And this was actually Dolby's first major setback in their history. Well, Dolby responded to the challenge. They innovated a groundbreaking technological solution, which is their signature response to challenges. Their engineers devised a creative method for storing digital data on the film strips area between the sprocket holes, which was a novel idea at the time. And this innovation had the added advantage of creating space for analog sound data, making it backwards compatible as well. So Dolby's solution was more user-friendly and elegant than that of its competitor, such as DTS, which required playing a separate disc alongside the film. And this led to Dolby's swift gain of market share in the digital film industry again. So let's see what that looks like specifically. They developed a codec. AC3 is an audio coding algorithm developed by Dolby. It was a groundbreaking innovation which altered the landscape of audio compressing technology, which finally enabled to fit sound in those very small areas in between the sprocket holes of film in movie theaters. And AC3 is actually the foundation of what we now know as Dolby Digital. So this development of AC3 represented a milestone in digital sound and was a revolutionary solution that went far beyond film because it offered high-quality multi-channel audio, so it was a leap forward from previous audio formats. And because of its effectiveness and the quality that it delivers, it has been licensed widely for various applications, so way beyond cinema to television broadcasts, streaming platforms, DVDs, gaming consoles, etc. And basically, the development and proliferation of AC3 shows the potential of a well-developed innovative technology to disrupt and dominate a market, which was already established for DTS. And Dolby's response is a shining example of such innovation in the face of adversity. It speaks to their power of creativity, critical problem-solving skills in overcoming technical obstacles. How does this translate to a more general picture overview? Dolby's business strategy, to enter the digital markets was to innovate and develop new technological solutions which would set it apart from their competitors. In response to the challenges which were presented by the new technology which appeared from their competitors, Dolby focused on creating their own solutions which were more user-friendly and elegant, leveraging its follower position compared to the first mover position of its competitors to detect the downsides of their competitors' technology and adapt accordingly. And by doing this, Dolby was able to regain its footing in the digital film industry. To support their business strategy, Dolby developed an IP strategy that focused on protecting their innovative technologies and licensing those technologies to manufacturers. So one of the key components is, of course, patent protection. Dolby filed patents, to protect their technologies, including their Dolby Digital, Dolby surround sound technologies, etc. In addition to that, they relied on trademark protection also to protect their brand name and logos, which are recognizable to customers. They also focused on trade secrets. So Dolby used trade secrets to protect their confidential information to maintain their competitive advantage in the media industry. So, for example, proprietary algorithms that are used in the Dolby Digital technology are protected as trade secrets, or were. I don't know how much technology caught up in between. They also established partnerships with the key players in the media industry to promote adoption of their technologies, mainly licensing to large companies of producing consumer electronics like Sony and Philips. So they got their technology incorporated into those popular media products such as DVD players, home theater systems, and digital TVs. And through that monopoly in a box approach, helped to increase awareness of their technology and bringing it to your home as well as to the cinemas as it was before. And in addition to licensing, of course, they were focused on enforcing their IP rights through various cease and desist letters, litigation if necessary, to demonstrate their commitment to protect their IP rights. And overall, their business strategy and the aligned IP strategy in the 90s allowed them to successfully enter the digital markets and get back to becoming, well, not becoming, but taking back their place as a leader in the industry by focusing on innovation, partnerships, and IP protection. It was able to secure its strong position once again. And now I leave the floor to Vincent.
Sorry, my mic was off. Thank you, Lionel. We were a compact group, so we elected to focus mainly on the cinema business of Dolby in the 90s, taking a few examples of what they did in terms of IP portfolio. I will mention two patents. The first one is really what Lionel explained, what the technology that helped to regain market share with digital solutions offered to the cinema industry. This patent, is in a nutshell, is about coding the digital information instead of the analog information between the hole in the film tape, and this allows to leave the room for the old analog information on the sides of the tape, and it allowed to have technology which can be read on the old machines and also on the new machines with digital information. So that was very versatile and a big advantage for their customer, which was the customer, the cinema industry. So it helped exclusifying a better solution, an added value solution with value for the customer, the cinema industry, and it helped them to regain market share and to have the possibility to enforce their pricing. This patent is very interesting, and this is clever, and the way it is done from a technological standpoint. So not only is it between the holes, but it's also about coding the information in 2 dimensions. So that's one of the picture. And the first time I read it, say, oh my God, they invented the QR code here. Instead of having linear information, it's in 2 dimensions. And that's really what initially the patent was about. They were to limit it, but it also set the ground, the mindset. Not only it's a solution for the cinema industry, but it's a global technological solution for coding stuff. It's not limited to sound. Actually, it can be anywhen, anything, and it really sets ground for different technologies approach that were shared by Group 5 to manage digital transformation and also interoperability things. So inventing something which is similar to QR code is a very valuable, and protecting it is a very valuable asset that can be shared. The other patent is really consumer oriented. This is about sequencing the speakers in a cinema according to what you see. So if you see, for example, a car moving from the right to the left, you will hear the sound moving from the right to the left as well as you are in the street, for example. And the patent is really about the experience that is provided by this approach. So it really offers a new experience for consumers, and it allows the customers, the cinema industry, to offer some new experience and also taking advantage of the brand of Dolby, which is known by consumers and which allows the customers to offer new experiences and value them to the consumers. Next slide, please. I will go quick on how Dolby also sets his branding, but it's key to their business to offer some solution, not only, but also some signs that they offer something of superior quality to the consumers. So that's how they build their trademark portfolio. They trademarked the Dolby brand as a word brand, but also the logos. And each time they offer a new solution, they make a specific trademark for this solution, like Dolby Cinema, Dolby Digital, Dolby Stereo, spectral recording on all their offers in the cinema industry that are recognized as superior by consumers. Interesting enough, they try to trademark the AC-free format, but they did not pursue with that. Maybe it was not adept to define a file format. Next. Yeah. They filed many patents on the digital sound. It was mentioned by other groups. There are thousands of patents. Key topic for them is coding, filtering. But in the 90s, they really switched from a lot of analogous technology to digital technology, a couple of patents. And also on the sound topology, so that the experience they can offer to consumers. I mentioned the cinema, the moving sound, and it's a patent that they had acquired, by the way, from another company. So they recognize the value of developing in that direction. But there are also many patents directed to managing the sound, how it comes, how it arrives to the consumer. And so on. So here, for example, you have the surrounding effects, different sounds coming from different sources that target the listener. Next slide, please. And their strategy is also strengthened by designs, and it was shared earlier. They offer solutions for the cinema industry, not only in the sound, but the speakers and the codes, but how the cinema is arranged with sound managing fixtures on the ceiling, on the chairs. So they offer a full set of solutions, and also widen the scope of activity. They file design of servers and headsets, earplugs later in the future. And that's an example of what they do to strengthen their technology and get ready for the next stage when it comes to digitalization. I will let the floor to Bill.
Our next question is identify the company with use similar IP strategy with to Dolby in another industry. And from practical experience and such, we locate 3 companies in 2 different industries. But don't worry, I go very quick and not very detailed. These 3 companies have a similar IP strategy to Dolby in Inflexion point 4. That's they all innovate the groundbreaking new technology to gain the market share. I will go to detail on their technology, IP strategy, and their business model, so we may have more understand and different view on licensing-based business model that applying by Dolby. In the energy IT technology, we found Energy Square, a French company founded in 2015. This company is developing a new wireless charging technology named Power by Contact. This technology allows the user to charge on their device at once in a single surface. And this may have many advantages for user, including no interference, no overheating, no energy loss. This is also the first technology that allows any laptop to be charged wirelessly at the same speed as a conventional charger. This technology also changed the current office workspace. This solution not only makes it very easy to move from one workspace to meeting room or another without worry about the battery level of your device, but also automate the connection with the work or presentation screen. And so we may say that the energy square create a new standard in wireless charging. Can you move to the next slide, please? For IP statutory aspect, similar to the Dolby, the energy square technology, they protect their invented technology. Now the company have a large portfolio of international patents. Then they with a licensing-based business model, they are selling the license of their technology to international electronic device manufacturer who want to implement their technology in product directly. As a result, the first notebook model with the power by contact of the energy square was disclosed by Lenovo in 2020, and now docking charging dock for MacBook is under development. In flooring industry, we locate two companies. The first one is Unilin. This company have around more than 700 patent application and granted patent cover various technology, including digital printing. They print on decor paper as well as the direct print to the board, so they can make the they say they can manufacturing the floor panel. In the ceramic industry, the digital printing has been standards for many years, but for flooring or furniture, the digital printing has not been adopted because of high cost and low printing speed. Then Unilin, they carry out intensive research and develop programs to overcome this shortcoming. And they success thanks to the use the right equipment, ink, primer, as well as their know-how and IPR. Another technology is flooring. Unilin holds the flooring technology with the innovative locking system. So the flooring panel can lock into each other very easy. Also the technology on furniture, so the customer can assemble their own furniture without tool, even without nail or glue. This significantly reduce the preparation and assembly time, fast installation and less damage, as well as less mistake. They also have technology in the wall panel, so they can also easily and quickly install the wall panel with the scratch resistant wall, and so reduce the maintenance, as well as have the second one in the same industry is I4F. They have around 500 patent and patent application, also cover the technology similar to Unilin, but they also have some different on drop locking and installation, so they combine two technology to make one strong high performance floor with a water resistant, and with no needs HR chemical spray or sealant. They also have the digital printing technology now with the very good result when so the customer may have the floor design without limits or have a very real life floor. Also, they have 3D wall installation, have the 3D effect on their wall. They also have the material technology, so they use magnesium oxide to reduce the moisture intake and absorb, reduce the wood from nature, so they can save, making the company sustainable and eco-friendly. You can hear some sub-brand of the I4F for the IP strategy. Both Unilin and I4F focus on innovating new technology in their field, protect their patent, develop some sub-brand, license to the hundreds of international floor manufacturers. So then they create a new standard in the industry. When you visit their website, there are very clear and convenient procedure for any company wish to become their licensee partner. These two companies also enter an agreement to have a patent pool with each other, so they can give each other as well as licensee the chance to expand the scope of protection of each other patent, so they can magnify their protected IPR in their business. Yeah, that is for group 4. Thank you.